For over 40 years, Ron has been the go-to expert on compost use and compost marketing. He has made significant contributions to the field of compost specifications, phosphorus management, landscape architecture, and environmental remediation. Ron is a past board member of the United States Composting Council, also serving as past vice president and secretary. He's past chair of the USCC's Market Development Committee and a current member of that committee. He's a certified educator for the American Association of Landscape Architects. He's a founding member and past president and VP of NCORC, that you know what that acronym is now, right? Current and long-serving industry liaison for the Association of American Plant and Food Control Officials, APCO. That's another acronym that you have to love a test at 6 on these acronyms. And I gotta say, you know, when I first came on the board, and Ron was on the board, you know, there were people that say, oh, don't go to the APCO meetings, we don't need that. It's like, we have the compost definition, the APCO definition, because of Ron Alexander's persistence, right? So okay, I'm gonna go on. This is a long list, Ron, I'm telling you, it's very impressive. He's a recipient of the USC's High Kellogg and Clean Water Awards. He just received recently from APCO the Presidential Distinguished Service Award. These are all outstanding accomplishments. And you know, the council has 5 core values. And I hope that those of you that were at our annual meeting start remembering what those core values are. Ron has spent his career living these values. Does anybody know what core value 5 is? Fun, correct. And now we're gonna have fun, but it's gonna be at the expense of Ron. All right. Ron knows a lot. Everybody says he can talk a lot of bullshit about compost, but he can also talk about buffalo shit and compost too. Ron ran for re-election at a board seat and he lost. He said, "I am king," he cried out. The election was rigged. There was a riot, it was ugly. And I said, hey, nobody's perfect, Ron, right? Ron has all his family members working in the business. I just want you to know it. You know, although Minnie was not officially on the books, she does help in Ron's proving the point that food waste dehydrators produce what? Dehydrated food waste, right? Not compost. So, you all know the story of the Lorax. The Lorax is a children's book written by Dr. Seuss, published in 1971. It chronicles the plight of the environment and that the Lorax, the main character, speaks for the trees and confronts the ensileer and the business magnate who causes environmental destruction. Well, Ron is a champion, and we like to call him the anti-Lomax man. Speaking again for all composters against the food dehydrators, or as they call them, kitchen composters. All kidding aside, the part where I get serious again, through his college and his professional career, the person that has been by his side is Mary Jo, a true saint. God bless you, Mary Jo. That's all I gotta say. And in all his achievements, I think Ron is most proud of his 2 children, Amanda and Jimmy. And to present the award to Ron is Nora Goldstein. And this is a picture I took with my Polaroid Instamatic the other day of Ron talking to Nora. So Nora, come on up here.
Wow. I only have one thing to say that's about Ron. We put on conferences for many years. Ron was a regular speaker. And I'd say for a speaker, he got the most groans from his puns. What I wanted to do, and thank you, Frank, for the opportunity, is just talk about who Jerome Goldstein was and why I'm so honored to give Ron this award. My father started Biocycle as Compost Science in 1960. He was editor of Organic Gardening and Farming magazine. In the late 70s, he left, started our family business, the JG Press, and shortly thereafter, the name of the publication was changed to Biocycle. And, you know, I got a story, just one snippet of my dad. When he was editor of Organic Gardening and Farming, he apparently was the one when they were looking at, let's come up with a label for organic foods. And apparently he was the one that had the idea, make it like the kosher label on foods, right? So always creating, pushing the industry. And when we started, even when I started in the late 70s, there was really not an industry, and it's such an amazing industry has grown around it. So I just wanted, my father passed away in 2012, and I wrote a tribute article. In the very beginning of the article, I talk about 2 letters that really sum up who my dad was. And I looked at that list this afternoon, and I categorized words that start with P, and these are ones especially in my mind that also apply to Ron and why you're so important to me personally, to Biocycle, to the profession. Pioneer, prolific, persistent, passionate, and pugnacious. Those were all characteristics my dad had. And then the C word, communicator, collaborator, and so committed to the composting community. So Ron, it is such a great honor. Ron has many articles in the Biocycle archives. They are all classic up until just 2 weeks ago or last week. He wrote about a new park in Cary, North Carolina, a big park, lots of compost used in the soil. So Ron, please. And Mary Jo, good to see you again.
So this is an incredible honor, I have to tell you. I would often tell people that my greatest measure of success is that all the death threats I got by composters I persevered. But thanks to the USCC and the nominating committee and the people who nominated me, especially Chuck Dupre, I'm really thrilled to receive the award. Biocycle published my first article in August of 1990. And they made it the cover article, and it was just so inspirational to me to keep me pushing. And you gotta know, the more you give to this industry, the more it just throws at your feet, right? And but I have such respect for the family. I'm so thrilled to get an award named after Jerry with the great love and respect I have for the first family of composting, really. So thank you for that. And of course, I have to thank my wife. First of all, many people believe that she was a figment of my imagination. I don't appreciate that, Jake. Okay? I know. But I have to say that she's always been there by my side. I've given away a lot of time. She's always supported the time I've given away. I spent 20 years flying 100,000 miles a year, and she kept the family together. I went to a lot of countries, including Texas and California, right? And it really does come down to passion. I found my place in this industry. And I guess, you know, when it comes down to it, this became the place where I could be myself, I could exist, I could focus my energy, I could try to excel, and that's what makes it so grateful. But I do have to say, one of the reasons I'm so passionate about the industry, aside from we can save the environment, we can change the world, by focusing our efforts about what we do, by fixing the soil with stabilized organic materials. But there are so many people in this room that I consider as family and great friends. Many people in here are my brothers and sisters in arms. There have been a couple of people who have failed to try to be a parent to me, failed miserably. And there's a bunch of crazy ass uncles in my family sitting around this table, and most of you know who you are. But I will say that many people around here encourage me. I'm not good at taking compliments, so I apologize for that. But as much of that, I went to a lot of AFCO meetings. I had a lot of people poke me in the eye and try to discourage me, and it was just my fuel. I got pissed, and I said, as I've said to my kids many times, you can get a little ugly. When you know you're right, you fight. And so that gave me the opportunity, but the negativity fueled me, and I hope that people take that as a lesson. Don't take the gut punch and move on and move forward. But I'll finish up really quick here, I apologize. But to the old-time composters around the room, we know that we have to keep expanding the business, making great products, making payroll, right? But we have to bring the young people along. Industry, we have to continue to build an industry that's going to last for generations and educate them and help them along the way. To the young people in the room, this is the greatest industry. Commit yourself to the industry, fight for it. You'll be fighting for the environment, right? So do that, but find your fuel. Just find your fuel, what motivates you. I mean, this industry motivates me, and I hope it does for you. So thank you so, so much. And I'm so thrilled my wife is here by my side today. And thank you, and I hope I see you guys later.